Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss show, and welcome to this is gonna probably be a story time. Yeah, this might be a story time to just let y'all know. You guys can honestly see by the title that yeah, it's a pretty crazy situation. But at the time being, I didn't know that this girl was racist. It wasn't up until she had shared this post on Facebook of the Confederate flag, and then in the photo, it's like supposed to be a meme, I guess. But in the photo, it says, just posting this historical flag to offend the ignorant people. And yeah, she had faced some backlash over that. And it's posted by an account called Confederate Flag Pride. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, this girl, I remember this girl too, because she was forever, like, she was forever snitching on people, but she was talking to, like, some black students there. So that's why I'm like, I don't understand why you would I don't know, maybe it was developed like after high school and stuff, but I'm saying like that doesn't really make any sense to me. I'm like, you have black friends. Like, this girl then tried to follow me all across social media and stuff, and I'm like, she was somebody where I was skeptical of her. I was like, I didn't really trust her and things. And I'm gonna tell you guys why I didn't trust her. It was a moment in middle school, because I went to, yeah, it was middle school and high school that like seeing her around and stuff. I think I maybe had like maybe one or a couple of classes with her, but no, I remember there was an incident in middle school, and it was me, and then there was another friend of mine who was black. And I'm saying, like, there's all these other kids in the classroom talking, but then she's gonna turn around and look at us and start giving us like a hard time and things. I'm like, bro, you ain't even a teacher. Like, turn back around before I throw something at you. Like, stop playing with me. I swear, I would throw something at you, and I would not care. I can care less about the consequences. If I get whooped, I get whooped. But I just know at one point in time in my life, I stood up to somebody. I'm like, all these kids, the teacher ain't even in the classroom. Like, she wasn't even teaching. So to just tell you guys, like, this what happened and things. So there was a friend of mine. His name is Patrick. So he comes. I don't know. I feel like weird when I say like a person's name, but I ain't gonna say like. Let's just say his Patrick Beverly, the basketball player and things. But that's what I should start doing. Like, when there's friends of mine, if I'm gonna refer to their name, just give them a celebrity name or something. But anyways, but no, my friend's name was Patrick. I haven't talked to him in years, though. It's like, I think last time we did talk, we were in middle school. But he ended up, because I ended up switching schools when we were in elementary. And then I think he ended up switching middle schools. And then because I went to a completely different city. And when I was in elementary, I was going to school in West Seattle. But then I had moved, and I ended up going to school out in Federal Way. So he ended up going to the same middle school as me. And I remember seeing him in the classroom, and I'm like, nah, that ain't him. I'm like, but is that him? And I'm like, nah. And so we were staring at each other because we knew each other and stuff. So I'm like, is your name Patrick? And then, so yeah, at that point, then he was just like, oh, you Tyler. And then we started losing it because we were good friends when we went to this school in West Seattle. So yeah, we were constantly hanging out. We were constantly having fun and things. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it was like me and a group of other kids. We were always like sitting at the same table, having fun, doing some wild things. Like, I'm telling you, like, and then if it was like, man, I'm telling you, there's so many things I still remember of that school, like snowball fights, two-hand touch football. Like, we were having some fun at that school. Like, that's what I had to say. I don't really remember like learning anything from that school. For the most part, that school was just about having fun. Like, I do not remember learning anything from that school. That's probably why I was like messing up in some of my classes once when I moved, because I was like, bro, we didn't do all this in my old school. Like, West Seattle, I don't think they really care about their I don't know, maybe it's changed now, but back then, I know for me at least, I don't think they really cared about education and stuff. But anyway, so me and him, we're in the classroom, like, we're kind of like, flipping out because we hadn't seen each other in a while, and like, it's like a good friend of mine and things. So we in the classroom talking, and then this girl, the racist girl, she turns around, looks at us, and she was just all like, you guys better be quiet before I tell the teacher on you. And I'm like, first off, we ain't even talking to you. We ain't associated with you. We ain't saying absolutely nothing to you. So why turn around and even say that to us? And so you know what? Just to eliminate the whole thing, I told on us. I said, hey, I can't remember the teacher's name or something. Her name might have been like Miss Fox or something, but I think that was her name. I don't know. But anyways, let's just say that was her name. But I was like, Miss Fox, this is my friend Patrick. We hadn't seen each other in a few years. just letting you know. She was just like, oh yeah, that's a show. The teacher, she wasn't tripping. She wasn't tripping about it at all. It's funny because the teacher was black, so that's probably why she wasn't tripping at all. She was just like, okay, this girl. I'm pretty sure the teacher seen what was going on before. So, because yeah, I was that student. I'm like, okay, well, just to eliminate all this, let's just get to the bottom of it. Let's see if I am really doing something bad here. So, yeah, I just ended up like just looking at the teacher and being like, hey, this is my friend from school. Like, is it okay if we talk for a little bit? So yeah, she said we could talk for a little bit. Wasn't tripping. The girls like still turned around looking at us and things. I'm like, why are you still staring at us? Like, it's that type of stuff where I'm like, man, if I was to deal with something like that now, like back then I was like, I don't know, I would like say some hurtful things, but then at the same time I would try to stop myself. I feel like now I just don't really have no boundaries. Back then I didn't really have boundaries either. Like I guess like if it was pushed, she was just more so annoying me. She wasn't like, I wasn't like full on upset. If I was full on upset, yeah, I would have been saying some things to that girl. That girl probably, yeah, either I would have been getting suspended or switched to a different school or something, or a class, but yeah, that girl, I definitely would have said something to her and things, and most likely just had that girl crying in the classroom. That's the type of person I am. Like, I don't want to be, but people, they just do like things like that. I'm like, you need to just stop talking to me. Just don't turn around. Don't talk to me no more for the remainder of our lives. Like I ain't trying to say nothing to you and stuff. So. My friend Patrick, he wasn't having it. Like, he just came to the classroom and stuff. So it's like, why is this girl already giving him a hard time just for seeing one of his old friends? She act like she ain't never seen an old friend before. Like, well, honestly though, like my thing is, let's say you're in school, you hadn't seen one of your old friends in years, and this is like a good friend of yours. This is like one of your best friends. Like, this is like me, him. Yeah, I would say that we were like best friends. I would say we were like really good friends because it was just me, him, a few other kids. We all had our group. We were always hanging out. We were always playing sports. We were always having fun. Like, I'm saying, like, we would like we can all be separated, but we would still be like hanging out with like one another and things at like certain points in times. Like I'm saying, we seen each other in the hallway. You would have thought like we were at like a grocery store or something. Like we see each other in the hallway. We'll stand like, how like in grocery stores, like you see like an old friend, y'all stand on like each side of the aisle and stuff and be like just get to talk. We were doing that in elementary. Like I'm saying, like we'll go to the bathroom. I swear we would be. I'm telling you, like I had bathroom breaks at that elementary because that school was big too. So we'll like, man, I'm telling you, we were having fun. We would be running around the hallways, freaking just yelling, screaming. We would be having some straight up legitimate fun. It was like I'm telling you, that teacher, she probably was thinking like, oh man, that student's stomach must be hurting or something. And it was like, no, we're just playing tag in the hallways or something, or me scaring some another student in the hallway. But anyways, but yeah, it's like you hadn't seen the student in years, and you see him you see him or her for the first time. Like, you mean to tell me you just gonna be all like, oh, hi, nice seeing you again, then just turn? No, if this is a good friend of yours, if this is your best friend, you're gonna be flipping out in that classroom regardless of whatever classroom it is. You're gonna be flipping out because like that's your friend, that's somebody that y'all was hanging out and stuff. So that's where I'm like, I just didn't understand that whole particular situation. But yeah, that girl was being weird. But yeah, I'm trying to think. There's like other times where she was like snitching on students and things, mainly black, in the classroom. And that's why I left the comment, because I left the comment and it's like the most liked comment on that post. And I was like, what did I say? Let me see. Because I did say the post yesterday. I was like, I can tell you was racist when you snitched on only black people in school. And yeah, 6 people liked it. There's second one is 5. That kid cool too. He said, he was like, you can. Second most liked comment on her post was, you can learn about history from the history books. You should be ashamed by your willingness to repeat it. Oh yeah, then he shared like this like post, and it was like overall talking about the Confederate flag and things. But yeah, a lot of people, they're like going off on her and stuff. Like, it's doesn't make any sense why you would share some stuff like that. Let's see if she shared any other racist things. She shared a shirt, or like a shirt post saying she got anger issues. I'm like, no, I don't know about anger issues, but you definitely got some sort of issues. I don't know about anger, but she never really came off as an angry individual. Like somebody would say some stuff to her and she'll just sit there in silence. Like she could have been one of those like crazy students where it's like, if you see them like reaching in their backpack and things and they being fast about it, like, take cover and stuff. But Yeah, she definitely she was one of those weird ones. I ain't really like talking to her. That after that incident where I was just all like, I'm not even allowed to talk. My thing was, it's like, you ain't even a teacher. You're not a teacher's assistant. You are a sixth grader in a class. Like, I am older than you. Like, I didn't really believe in like that whole like superior grade, like, oh, the eighth grade, because I know like it was like all throughout my schools out there. There'd be like eighth grade power or senior grade or senior power, some stuff like that. And I didn't really believe in all that stuff. I was just all like, look, I'm like, I can care less about all that, like, sophomore power, freshman power. I'm like, I wasn't a part of that. Me and my friends, we were like, we went to the schools, but we wasn't like a part of any school activities. I say some of us were like sports and all that, but we wasn't like all like cheerful and things, even if it was like in the assemblies. If it was, I guess if it was a serious assembly or something, then maybe we'll like, give out a couple of claps. But if it's just them trying to do some like comedy skits or something in the assemblies, or if it was like one of us that was up there, if it was like one of our friends, then yeah, we go crazy, we go wild over it. But yeah, for the most part, we wasn't like tripping like that. But that's all, like, back on her. I'm like, man, I am older than you. I'm like, I seriously will wait until you out in the hallway and throw a hamburger at you. Like, stop testing me. Like, that's the type of stuff where I'm all like, yeah, you better hope I don't see you in lunch. Because I swear, I would build a home. I would go to the wood shop, because I was cool with the wood shop teacher. I would ask him, could you order like some like big giant elastic band? Don't ask me why, just please order it. I'll make sure it's not traced back to you or any of that stuff. Just please order me a giant elastic band. I would be off up in there building, okay? Like, I'll go and, if I gotta cut down a tree and some branches and stuff and build me a homemade slingshot, I would. But yeah, I seriously would. Just go get a deli sandwich. Told my friends, like, hold it and be strong about it and think, so I'm about to pull this thing back. Wait until she's like a good, like, it's just a direct viewing of her head, and I'm taking that deli sandwich, I'm letting it go, and that stuff is hitting her all across her face. Because I'm saying, like, there ain't no reason to act like that in school. And I'm like, and I know there's probably like other like racist things that she didn't do, because it was at one, I think once we got into high school, I didn't really have classes. I don't really remember having any class with her when I got into high school, but she was still like, hanging out. There was one girl she was hanging out with. That girl was pretty racist too, because she was saying the N-word. I remember here's another racist moment that I had to deal with. I think these two were friends too, but this girl, she was just as worse. Like, this girl was out here trying to catfish people on Facebook. Like, I remember when I got into Facebook and social media and all that stuff, this girl, it was crazy because the girl, I think it was her older sister, was friends with my sister. And so I was friends with the brother, but he was kind of weird too. I don't know. Like, we were like, all right, we almost got into a fight one day, but yeah, it was, I would say we were like, it was, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say it was like an on and off. Like, I think like we were friends and then we beefed. And then after that, it was like, we like squashed it, but we didn't really like talk with each other or associate with each other and things. Like, we probably like give each other a head nod or something, but we was like, yeah, we ain't cool no more, fam. But anyways, but no, this girl, she's in the classroom. So we're in same middle school. So we're in the classroom, and her name was Christina. I'm gonna put her on blast too. And the other girl's name is Jennifer and things. Both of them racist. So anyways, don't really care if people feel about me. I'm not saying their last names. I'm just saying their first names. All right. So anyways, there's so many Christinas and Jennifers I'm friends with. So I'm like, if I'm not friends or following these guys, I'm like, the one Jennifer girl, I should just go ahead and unfriend her on Facebook just to eliminate any future posts. Because, yeah, you is a racist, and I cannot be friends with racists. There we go. Boom. One less person I got to worry about. But anyways, so Christina. So this girl, she's in the classroom, like, saying some, like, racist stuff to this other girl that I was friends with. Her name was Candace. And she's saying some racist things to her. So I was like, I didn't really like take offense to racism, but like my friend Candace, she wasn't really like saying anything. So I just turned around and just started roasting the girl. I started making fun of her weight because she was kind of big. I think I called her a Big Mac. I said some other things regarding her weight, called her fat. I was saying some things. I'm like, okay, if you're gonna say some derogatory stuff like that, then I'm gonna say some derogatory stuff towards you. And I'm just saying, you look like the runner-up person for a 600-pound life episode. I'm just like if we're gonna be in here talking about people, I'm just saying, like, that's what you look like right now. I'm like, you look like a Ninja Turtle, but without like the turtle shells and all that. It just looks like it's just one big setup. Like I don't know what to overall say or think about that, but I'm just saying, like, you look like the type of person where you get up and you just start breathing hard for no reason. I say things like that. Do I care? No, I don't. But anyways, so yeah, she overall she got offended by what I said. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I'm like, wow, guess she wasn't really thinking about how people was going to feel about, you saying things and getting offended. But anyways, ran to the teacher. She, out of all the teachers that she told, because we were in the teacher's class, though, but she ended up telling this one teacher that kind of had a problem with me. And I even tried to explain myself and tried telling her, I'm like, she was out here saying things like to my friend. I'm like, I can't defend my friend. And so, yeah, she overall told the teacher on me. I ended up getting detention, and I had to. I don't even think. No, I think they called my mom like once. I think I was out of the classroom or something. But I'm like, that's stupid. I'm like, I ain't even doing anything wrong. I'm like, I'm not allowed to defend my friends and stuff. I'm like, that's the message. That is Kylo Middle School. I'm putting everybody on blast because I'm like, nah, like I'm saying, like I'm out here trying to defend my friend. I can't even do that, and then you're gonna give me detention. So I ended up getting, I think, how many days of detention I think I got. I think it was like either like 2 or 4 days of detention for defending my friend. I'm like, that's the crazy part about it. I'm like, man, all right, fine. Now I just leave it up. I leave it up to you guys. I leave it up to you guys and the Lord. I'm like, when racist stuff is going on in this school, I ain't gonna say nothing. Nope, because I'm like, if I'm gonna defend people or am I defending myself, and I'm gonna get detention or suspended or expelled over it, I'm like, all right, so be it. So, but anyways, but yeah, she was like calling my friend the N-word and stuff, and I was like, bro, I don't even understand, like, how am I gonna get in trouble? I didn't even call her anything referring to her race, like her weight, definitely, because I'm saying like her weight was out of this world, but I'm saying like you shouldn't be 11 years old looking like that. Like I'm just by all right, maybe I'm just going a little bit too far, but I'm just saying the girl was racist, so I'm like I really don't show no pity or towards racist people and things. I'm just saying like you shouldn't be 11 years old looking like that. Like, how is it that your brother's older than you, but you bigger than him and stuff? I remember one day she fell down. It looked like a straight up airbag, like deflating and things. That was something I was like, I was not expecting that. That girl fell down, bounced back up, and like landed on her back. That was some crazy stuff. I laughed too. I laughed right there in front of her face, and she was all like, "Shut up, Tyler." I'm like, I'm not shutting up. That was funny. I'm like, that was hilarious. I'm like, no, you shouldn't have. They're like, okay, if you didn't want me to laugh, then you shouldn't have fell down in front of me. The funny thing was, it was like, I don't remember, I think there was like a tree branch, or it was like not a branch, but a root that was like sticking out of the ground, but she didn't even make it that far yet. She did like a pre-trip, like she pre-tripped over a branch and the branch wasn't even in front of her yet, but that girl was like, man, uncoordinated. Feet don't work after a while, I'm saying, but I was like, that was funny though. I was sure, I laughed right there in front of her face, did not care at all, so anyways, but yeah. I know people was just like, bro, how did her because I know people will probably ask like, how did her brother dead? That's the thing though. Her brother, he was kind of a scary individual. Like I remember the time that me and him got into it and things. I kept telling him like, I'm like, swing first, please. I'm like, you be the one to swing. I want you to swing, and he didn't. And I'm like, all right, well then this fight, there is no reason for this fight to happen and stuff. Because I'm like, that's my thing. I'm like, okay, when they swing first, and I'm just gonna go buck wild on the person, but. Yeah, but he didn't do that, and overall, like I was just like, all right, well then this fight doesn't need to happen, and walked away. Then he was like, I remember one time he like rode in my neighborhood. I'm like, bro, please don't do that before you end up like your sister. I'll roast you on that bike right now. So I'm saying I was roasting people. That's why I'm like, I can honestly go over like all the times I just straight up like roasted somebody in a classroom and things. And I was like, I say some hurtful stuff, but at the same time, I don't know. I would say hurtful things, but I wouldn't like go below the belt. I'll try to like stop myself, but if I get carried away, I get carried away. And I just hope people understand. But anyways, yeah, I had some racist encounters when I was in school, and it was something that I wasn't losing sleep over. It wasn't something I was mad over and things. You know, that's how people think. That's how people think. Like overall, no, I'm not gonna have to deal with that for the rest of my life. So yeah, I was like, both of those girls, I don't even talk to them today. I just unfriended the one today, so I'm like, cool. Like I ain't gotta worry about that stuff. But it is what it is. You know, that's how people act. That's how people act. So anyways, yeah. Sad that people gotta act like that. You know, it's just don't know why people can't just be like, oh, black person, cool, let me be friends with them. No, they gotta be like, oh, let me call you a racist, derogatory name and say all these other crazy, weird things about you and stuff. But, anyways, yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow, subscribe, however it's set up. And if you're purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.